Good morning and a happy new year. So it is Monday the 6th of January 2025 and yeah, 6th of January seems to be everybody's kind of back to work day. I know some people who worked over the Christmas period or went back for the Thursday and Friday of last week. You may have seen I worked on I organised the Verti training for the Saturday, the what was it, 27th, 28th, something along those lines. I can't even remember now. It was last year. Getting back into it. So for January for me it's actually a very busy month. So this is when I like to spend time on working on the business. Any updates to the website, any updates to kind of any services that I provide, that sort of stuff. On top of that, we need to get all the machinery serviced, also fixed, because by the end of it, you're sort of just limping its way through to the end of the season. So we've got all that work to do. I think what it's really important right now is to just make a list of all the machinery I've got, go through exactly what needs to be obviously serviced as a service, but fixed as well. So what can I fix? What do I need to send away to be fixed? What parts I need? All that kind of stuff. And then we have, throughout the year, all my clients, regular clients, will say to me, look, can you do this? Can you do that? And more often than not, what I will say is, look, if you can wait till the winter time for me to do it, then I'll happily do it then. If you need it done now, get it done. In most cases, unless it is something, let's just say it's a building project and they need this bit done so they can move on to the next bit, then they'll happily wait. Now that's fine, but I do have to do the work, so I need to have a mental note of those jobs. Also, when I do my last couple of visits at people's properties, what I will do is just have a look around and maybe some jobs that I feel could be done, could benefit the client, but I sometimes don't mention them straight away because I know I haven't got time to do them until January anyway. So what I will then do is in my final invoice in December, I will say also, just this bit. If you want that done, let me know. So I've got a few of those jobs. So what I need to do is just basically, I have a list and I call them winter jobs. And then, I just tick them off as we go through January. So obviously tax bill at the end of the month and everything else as well. So yeah, working on the business, working on the machinery, and winter jobs. They're the three things that I need to get booked in and get it all done for this month. And then the winter jobs will also carry on into February, as well as the winter lawn care treatments start. So the iron treatments, if I mow their lawns, then they'll get a mow as well. And actually the start of this kind of like this week in lawn care started by one lawn that I did the lawn care for the season before, and I went back and he had the robot mower. The robot mower was away for servicing, and I said to him, before I spray all the iron down, just want to make sure that you've picked up twigs, leaves, or anything that's basically gonna stop the iron making contact with the surface. Now the odd little bit, the odd blade here and there is not the end of the world, but if you've got a whole area of just leaves down, it's not great for the lawn, but equally the iron's not going to be able to sort of penetrate through the leaves. So that needs to be cleared up, although I am happy to provide a leaf clearance service to do that, and actually potentially just mow the grass, give it some stripes. And actually stripes are great for when you're spraying, because you can work up and down stripes and it really does help you with your overlap. So it just sort of means you don't have to use any dye, and it just makes life a lot cleaner and a lot easier. So that's basically what the next 2 months are going to look like pretty much, and then you might get new inquiries as well. However, today we're doing two things well, three things, but two things of note. One is I'm going to drop my Hater Pro 56 off, because I'm just working on a little project which I'm not going to talk about at the moment, but if you followed my social media last year, a rough idea is what I'm talking about. And then also, if you remember last year, I dropped off my aerator and scarifier. so I need to go and pick those up now. So they've been serviced, but I think they've had a few modifications made to them as well. We'll find that out when I get there. So yeah, essentially today, the main part today is off to Trackmaster, and then I need to make a few phone calls about work that it came in so late last year I didn't have time to do them. So I need to chase a few of those up. Need to chase a bit of money up as well, which is never a nice thing, but it's part of the job. And then depending on that, and then also, yeah, we've got the extension going on at one of the properties, so there's potentially some grounds work that needs to be done there. So I need to check in with them, and then depending on what that's like, I'm most likely be hedge cutting tomorrow. So yeah, once I've been to Trackmaster and back, then I'll sharpen the hedge cutters. Ready for that. And whether I hedge cut tomorrow or not, it's certainly I've at least got probably 2 weeks of hedge cutting work, which needs to be done. So now's as good as time as any to get them all sharpened and clean and rearing and ready to go. Okay, so it's about 4:30 now. So I've been over to Trackmaster to pick up. In fact, I only ended up picking up the Scarifier. The aerator just had one little thing they wanted to tweak on it, and then yeah, then gone off and just gone and looked at the job that's having the building work done. So I'm going to go there tomorrow morning, just do a few sort of stuff, winter work stuff. Can't describe it as any more than that. However, I've got the Scarifier back, and I'll just show you it quickly now. But what I will do is make a standalone video on it and the new features, if you like. So essentially, this is my old Scarifier. However, it's got the new branding on it now, so that's slightly different. It's also got a new paint job on it, and they replaced the back here, and it's painted, I don't know, in a way that the paint will last longer. So that's quite cool. And then also what you have is the new tines now. They are created in a different manner. They're put on differently. Normally, all the blades, the tines, whatever you want to call them, they're threaded on that one rod. And then what happens is they sort of move over time. And then when you try to get them off, they kind of like have dug into the metal. So what's happened is all the tines now are on they're attached in like 3 different points. You still have the centre rod, but that's more for the... Oh, hang on, the lights are off. Bear with me. There we go. But the main feature and the whole point of this is, you'll remember the review, or not review videos, it was the how-to videos of how to change a cartridge, because this used to be just a Scarifier, that's all it was. But now it's much more than that. It is a Scarifier, but it's also a renovator. So you know, it really goes below the soil and creates the grooves that you're going to seed in. So in some ways it's a bit like a Graydon nowadays, I suppose. But then equally, you've got the verticutting cartridge now, so it's a verticutter as well. There's all these different things, there's all these different cartridges, but the problem was it was quite a faff to change them. And if you only had one machine, but you were going to one job where you were going to maybe be renovating, but then you were going to another job where you just wanted to do a light Scarify, you'd have to take it all apart and everything, and it was quite tricky. And I mean, I got it down to about half an hour, but even so, that was with having all the exact right tools and remembering to have those tools with me and things. But what they've done is they've done a quick release system. So essentially, all you need to do, the other side, so I can't really show you, but undo, I don't know, 5 bolts, and then you just slide this bit into here, and then lift it up, and then basically a bolt through there, that will hold it all in place. Then there's a slight bracket underneath, and then the guard which goes on top. So yeah, 5 bolts, in fact, or 5 nuts should I say, need to be removed, so it's a lot quicker. So as I say, I will show you that. So what we have is the 3 swinging blades which are on it, Now remember, with the free swing blades you can reverse them, so once they're worn you can take it all apart, swap it round, so you get double the life with them. We have the renovation cartridge down here, we have the standard normal cartridge, normal Scarifier cartridge, and we have the verticutting blades as well. So yes, very, very cool. So obviously I've not really got any need for the Scarifier right now, so we won't really be seeing this in action until March at the earliest. But what I will do is a review video on how to change the cartridges, etc, etc, and a little bit more info on that, so stay tuned for that. So tomorrow, hedge cutting and a bit of random work, so I'm just going to get geared up for that now, and then yeah, I should be on my merry way. It's alright, it's alright. Okay, welcome to a very frosty Wednesday. So yesterday, a bit of a random day really. I'll show some videos in a second of what I got up to. Doing odd jobs around this particular property, in and outside the house actually. Just helping the client out, just push forwards with the extension. Man of many talents, what can I say. One of the jobs I have got to do, and I said about it last year, was these trenches. Now they were really big trenches which were full of water, so just before Christmas I emptied the water out, and then he got some labourers from somewhere to fill them in. So they've made progress. There's still some more soil to do, but I mean it's never going to be quite how you wanted it to be done. So a lot of this, if I stand on it now, although it's a bit frozen, once you get through the crust you sink right down. So it basically, I'm going to need to tread it in. Potentially, if I'm sure on it, then I'll get the tractor out and roll it. But I don't want to sink down too much and get the tractor stuck. So we're going to tread it in, rake it all out, and then top them back up. Okay, so I moved some of that soil around. It's still quite soggy. I can only imagine it is, because I didn't live through the 70s, it's like what walking on a waterbed was like. So I'm back on the digger, and what we have is, when I first started at this property, this was the fire pit, and as you can see it's quite close to the neighbours' trees and stuff. So what they have done is they've moved the fire pit to here, so that's fine, and that's all going to burn nicely. But what we're going to do here, or what I'm going to do here now, is while the digger's here, is just push this mound around, just push it back towards the fence, just flatten it out as best I can, and then just leave it really. And I suppose the weeds and the grass will all take over, because this is just a wild paddock that has, if you remember, has some sort of pathways mown into it. Okay, so consider it flattened. Now I've got a load of soil to shift. Busy. You might remember this one. This had all shrubs in and stuff. There's a swimming pool. You remember that I jet washed that patio in the springtime last year, and now there is no patio. There we go, 15 minutes ahead of schedule, but never mind. Oh, beginning to settle. There you go. I barrowed all that mud there. Used the digger to load the barrows up though. There was a couple of us doing it, to be fair. But yeah, I'm going home. Okay, so Thursday now. This is what actually, it's really bizarre. A minute down the road and there's no snow at all. So yeah, this is what fell last night. Nothing where I live. We had a bit of sort of falling snow, but it didn't settle. So yeah, I've only got a couple of hours I can spare today, so I'm just going to try and get the rest of the soil out. Although I've just spent time just getting it in and out. I'll show you the pile in a second actually. But yeah, there's our snow. Okay, so the soil was all where the digger was, so I've had to sort of, this is the remaining bits, I've just had to pull this all out. So there's not a great deal left. I'm just working between vehicles everywhere I look, and people going to the loo. I've only blocked in the labourers or the builders a couple of times with a digger and got them stuck in there, but never mind. I would move the digger, but then, sorry, the loo, but then it becomes a bit unstable, and no one wants to be in a loo which tips up. So yeah, there we go. Just got to go out to shift, a couple of hours, hopefully that'll all be gone, and then I'll be out of here. So it's Friday, it's very frosty, so Friday I am having a bit of an office day, so I'm going to go out and do 3 quotes. It's -3 currently. This is one, the lawn was laid last springtime I think, and then the client contacted me late autumn to basically see if he can get the follow-on care that all lawns need really. Wait for the train. However, he was a bit late in contacting me, so for seeding and stuff like that. So what I said is, look, I'll be in contact in the new year, and then we'll start from there. So bit of a couple of odd shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to measure the length and the width to get my square meterage. Then I'm going to minus the length and the width of the shed, and then take an estimate of the length and the width of that, just to take that into consideration. So yeah, it's the first job. Okay, so when on a quote, obviously what I'm looking for is the size, which sometimes you can do from Google, but I'm looking at the state of the grass as well, if there's any particularly lower bits which might need extra soil brought in rather than just the usual kind of top dressing, if that's what's required. But then also, and for me the most important thing, is working out how you're going to get in, and are you going to get your equipment in, and are you going to need ramps to get up and down. And so this gate, the access, that might be a concern. It's not the gate as such, it's that brick there. I think it's fine, but because I'm aware of it, I will take a measurement, because maybe the aerator will struggle. So it's just something you need to think about, rather than saying yeah I can do the work and then realizing you can't get the machine in. Okay, here's the second quote. So this is the side lawn or front lawn. There was a company looking after it, but there was too much moss in here for the client's liking. I know there's leaves down, it's very leafy. I suggested that might be part of the issue. And here's the back lawn. So he's got the one company who are looking after it currently, who he's not happy with. He has had another company who quoted him online as opposed to actually come out and visit. As I say, if you remember the last house I was at, Google doesn't tell you how easy it is to get into lawns or not, so that's why I think it's always good to get down there and actually have a look, because I've had it before where I've quoted to aerate the back lawn, but then not being able to get the aerator in the lawn, and then you've got to go and apologise and say, sorry, I can't do this job. So yeah, you learn from your lessons. Okay, so quote number 3. So this was turfed in October last year, not by me, can I add. And this is what's left. Not cool, huh? So yeah, he wants this sorted out, so we will give him a quote to do that.